So make sure he has a happy Father's Day. Hey.
Happy Father's Day to you. All that you do, you showed me how to love hard and tough on me so I can conquer all the things that a life will bring. Show what it means to be a king, walking proudly. I'm so grateful. Happy Father's Day to you for pulling us through. Happy Father's Day to you. Couldn't do it without you. Happy Father's.
Big love to the guys that protect and provide and deliver on time like Amazon Prime. But we'll lay hands if you get out of line. So better show respect or electric slide to the left. Yes, Papa don't take no mess. These new age fathers under much more stress. He gotta feed you and listen to your feelings, instilling values and morals and keeping the ceiling, building you up. Nutrition filling you up, no better feeling than seeing your children come up. You might not get what you asked, but still got more than enough. And if he doing alright, you know he'll spoil you. But yo, who better to hold ya? Who better to scold ya? They wanna give you the world, the doja. Props to Big Papa, watching over the casa like this is Sparta. Always know he got ya. We all know about mom love, but give your daddy some kind words. If there's a will, he'll make a way. So make sure he has a happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you. All that you do, you showed me how to love hard and tough on me so I can conquer all the things that a life will bring. Show what it means to be a king, walking proudly. I'm so grateful. Happy Father's Day to you for pulling us through. Happy Father's Day to you. Couldn't do it without you. Happy Father's.
Dads are the best, and he love when the kids fall asleep on his chest. Working hard all day at a job that he hates. He gets home late just to see the smile on your face. He's so tired, but he still makes time to play. Before you gotta go to bed and start again the next day. He does it anyway to make sure you good, to give you the best life that he possibly could. He's the one who says yes when your mom says no. He wanna be at every game, but he just can't go. Taught you to wipe your ass and ride your bike. Helped you pass that class. Taught you how to fight. He don't need another tie, underwear, or
before I got the song finished, I told Paris I was going to add that to my second verse if I didn't have anybody do a second verse. So I'm glad he put the big piece of chicken in there because, you know, I'm saying first, call the man to get the big piece of chicken. I'm glad he said, turn up.
He has a happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you. All that you do, you showed me how to love hard and tough on me so I can conquer all the things that a life will bring. Show what it means to be a king, walking proudly. I'm so grateful. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy pulling us through. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's. Happy Father's.
Cheesy Weezy, I was getting nervous.
Your closet open.
Oh.
Oh, I like that shirt.
All day, every day.
That's a sweatshirt? That's a sweatshirt?
Thank you, man.
That's a sweatshirt?
I forgot all about that.
Yo, hold on.
Yeah.
That's a sweatshirt?
Hell yeah. I had this over. This is like a 30-year-old sweater, dude. No.
Stop playing.
Like 25. Starter, too.
That thing's fresh.
Right? I used to wear this when I was like 19, 20 at the barbershops in LA, South Central.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you know I got ridiculed, dude. Oh, you wearing that because it's a dope sweater. I was like, no, I'm a Clipper fan.
Well, then you got 2 for 1. Man. You got a 2 for 1 because that shit lit.
Right? Thank you, brother. And I found out it's at Collectors. My boy checked online. It's at $500 right now.
Damn.
Yeah, for real.
That's crazy. Hey, man. This season is a storybook.
Hey, are we online?
Yes, we are.
At?
No, we live.
Yeah. So they saw my closet.
So it was only Mark. Then whoever watches the playback.
Whoever, Mark.
It's all good. It's just clothes. What up, Cheesy Weezy? We got about 5 minutes. We're running intro. Get the thing started. Ed Moore's gonna be in the building. I'm excited to talk about a lot of this stuff with him. You know what I'm saying? I always like getting Ed's point of view because he's like the intelligent side of how people could actually be.
I should have came earlier. There's a lot on my mind I want to talk to you about.
Oh, we can do an after show.
No, I got stuff to do.
He's so stupid. You can talk about it now. Why you talk about it?
No, brother. You snitch on yourself, that gets you 10.
10 get you 20, 20 get you 80.
I ain't going to jail for nobody. I definitely ain't going for myself. You know what I'm saying? That's some bullshit. That's illegal to tell on yourself in California. Damn, I got some stories.
Well, share them then.
I can't.
Yeah, you
because
can.
I'm biblical in the Bible. I'm a disciple.
It would make perfect sense if you shared it then, because it seems like all these biblical people got the best stories.
Could you imagine God had a gun back then? That would have been crazy.
A gun? What do you mean?
I don't know.
I don't either. Oh man, get it out your head. I don't know where that was going.
You don't like dogs and puppies?
Oh, Mark's gonna be preaching on Sunday. Turn up.
Mark who?
So,
Curry?
My brother. Yeah, Mark Curry. So Mark, is it official now? You guys have completely taken over the church now? Because it's gonna be my brother, my sister-in-law, my sister, and my brother-in-law, and another couple are taking over my uncle's church.
No way. You did say that. You did mention that. Wow. Congratulations, Big Mark. Can you pray for me and my family? Because every time I see a bad one, I say hallelujah.
Look what the Lord can do.
I was lost, but now I'm found.
Oh, this is dope. I want to talk about it when Ed gets on the show. But even now, my calendar, So my calendar is even prompting that Juneteenth is tomorrow. Like since it's an official national holiday now.
Yeah.
But I want to wait till Ed gets on the show so we can like get in deep with it and see what he thinks about it. Boom.
What?
We got about 3 minutes.
Oh.
Hold on, I gotta turn my light on.
You should turn your light on.
Shut your mouth.
Why Mark not responding? I want to go to Mark Church.
That did not make a difference, huh?
Where's his church? Ain't in LA, huh?
No, that's in Virginia.
Damn, I want to go to his church.
Come on, let's go on a field trip. We can take a field trip.
Let's do it. I'm serious.
I've been there before and seen him preach.
I want to. Can he? Is he a preacher like? And now the Lord, or is he a preacher? He talks.
Oh yeah,
like
he said you can. He said you can watch online. They stream it to YouTube.
I want to be there to grab your leg, Pastor. I want to grab your leg. Hallelujah, by and by.
You could tell he does research for his what is not. I don't. It ain't speech. What is it? What do you call it?
The word of
Delivery.
God. He's preaching the word of God.
Preaching
his message.
Hey, morning, Aunt Christy. The message.
Message.
Yeah. So you could tell he does his research for his message.
Message.
So that's always good. How you doing this morning, Aunt Christy? I see Cheese flexing for you. Damn, you had that shirt 30 years ago. What was it, a nightgown?
Now, actually, you wore stuff big back then. So this is
Word.
like an extra large, dude. Yeah.
Thank you for the share, Aunt Christy. We appreciate that. You think those large sizes are make a comeback? Because when I look at pictures back in the day,
it already is. It's
really.
I mean, if you're up on fashion, you'll know. Like it's not as baggy, but I don't buy my clothes tight no more. Like where you can see the fat.
Now, I can understand. I can understand it not being tight, but when I look at how big the clothes used to be, I'm like, oh come on, cuz that was ridiculous.
What's going on here? Hold on.
Especially like the like the cross color jeans and a lot of that stuff, man. It was huge. It was too big. What you mean, huh, Aunt Christy? Come on, you call it.
Yeah, okay. You okay? Yeah. All right, bye. Call me like that. You know I got to answer. I'm thinking something crazy happening. You know how your brain get.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Hi, Christy. Hi, Auntie.
Yeah, Christy, wearing clothes back. Did you ever do the crisscross where your clothes backwards jump off?
Never. I was always original, baby. What you see is what you see. What was back then, baby. I was debonair.
Debonair. Well, let's drop this intro and get this thing started.
Oh, intro!
Oh my good Lord Jesus sandwich.
I like sandwiches.
No,
Party people. Cheesy. Unique. Yo. What's up? Yo, it's Unique and Cheese. Here we go. It's Unique and Cheese. Let's start the show. It's Unique and Cheese. Here we go. It's Unique and Cheese. Let's start the show. Ha.
That was cool, right?
Yeah, that was cool. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Unique and Cheese Show. I want to thank both of y'all for tuning in. We do appreciate you both joining us. I'm not sure where KK is. I sent her the link to join us. I guess she'll be here any minute now.
You supposed to did that earlier this morning. Send her the link.
She already got it. She got it early. Now. Same like you got the link early. So I don't know where you was. Same thing like she was.
You didn't get the joke.
No.
The link.
No, I don't get it. I still don't get it.
Link.
You're like one of them special kids they put in the corner sometimes. Like you want to. Oh man, I didn't do this as a story. But okay, so there was a girl with I don't know if she had Down syndrome. Maybe she had Down syndrome, and she got to take a picture with the cheerleaders for their picture. But then when they posted it, I don't know. But then when they posted it, they scrubbed her out. I'm like, oh, that's cold blooded. Why even let her do it with you? That's terrible.
That's so mean.
That is terrible.
It must was a good photo though. They was like, oh, she got it.
Hey, KK.
Come on.
Right.
Ooh.
Good morning.
So DJ MJB, what is that about, Christy? What is too early in the morning for that, Christy? And with your nephew's name in the comment with the thing. Wait a minute.
That's
terrible. Yeah, so DJ MJB said she was a part of the team, but they took two different pictures. They took a picture with her in it, and then they took a picture with her not in it. That's cold, man. That's cold.
Maybe it was a bad picture though. You ain't never had like a group of friends like I'm like the funny little one, the looking one, and then you got all your tall friends. You like she's got to go out of this. Hey,
This is not that situation.
I don't care.
They just being mean. They being mean to her.
We all don't look like we should. That's horrible. That's terrible.
It's terrible. It is terrible. He's that terrible. I would say I would not use an eggplant emoji for link. You could just type the word out. I think that'll mean the same thing. I just don't think you should put that.
You so
greetings, KK. Welcome to the show.
I know we ain't seen you in like 18 years.
It was 1 week.
Steve Harvey. Last time I saw Steve Harvey was wearing big suits.
Who gave me the Paris gave me the hip. I was kind of watching a few. Yeah, Paris Hilton. I was watching a few episodes on YouTube, but there is Family Matters Family Feud in South Africa right now. So Steve Harvey took the show over there. Yeah.
Right on. That's funny.
You know, you could just watch a couple clips. You know, you can watch clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was dope.
Why you say clips twice?
Clippers.
You're messing with my heart.
You stupid. How you doing this morning, Ms. KK?
Okay, I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you guys?
Okay, I'm doing good.
You asked like a couple minutes ago.
Yeah,
you didn't answer.
Everybody. Well, yeah.
You know your husband's slow. You know your husband's slow.
Definitely cheese interrupted. Yes.
You know your husband's slow. Don't try to act like you don't know. He gonna keep
We
back.
went to
How you doing, KK? Like, come on,
I'm glad nothing has changed.
yeah. Have you been to Catalina Island?
Yeah, I didn't like it. They had the
Really?
buffalo burgers. It was terrible. The worst time of my life. You know how
Really?
you ever met somebody that you ask them where they every experience is bad. Like, you ever been to heaven? Yeah, God was there. His robe was dirty. Everything
Yeah.
is bad. Yeah. But no, I didn't. I mean, it was cool. It was
Word.
all right. Maybe I was with the, God bless him. I see you the devil. You trying to tell him. You trying to get me in trouble.
How am I gonna get you in trouble? Look, your experience was your experience. So I don't know anything about your experience. So boom.
Right.
Anyway, we went.
Yeah, go ahead.
We went yesterday for Quinn's birthday.
Oh, how was that?
It was fun.
Did y'all do the buffalo burgers?
No. They bring in the buffalo burgers there. Like the buffalo that they have on the island, they don't eat those. We did the tour last time that we was there, and I asked them, and they don't eat their own buffalo. Like, I guess that would be blasphemy. So whatever buffalo you ate wasn't from Catalina Island.
You remember good times with your buffalo butt? You remember that?
A booger.
Booger. So what
was the neighbor's name?
Bookman.
We did Quinn loves doing escape rooms, so we did an escape room.
Black culture. What happened?
Quinn likes doing escape rooms, so we did an escape room. Almost, we almost got it. You know what I'm saying? We did it in an hour and 4 minutes. You're supposed to do it in an hour, but we did it in an hour 4 minutes.
Y'all didn't get seasick going there?
No,
I got seasick too. Oh, I was sick for a day and a half. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't take the
Dramamine.
Yeah, man, I was sick.
So it was your fault. Oh, that was your fault.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So maybe it could happen because somebody did go out on a stretcher yesterday. So
yeah,
we saw while we were waiting, we saw this guy. He had to get taken out on the stretcher. He was out of it.
Yeah,
like an ambulance.
It's no joke. You can be hospitalized being seasick.
Seasick? Wow, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, it's no joke. So take your vitamins.
Take your Dramamine. We did like a scavenger hunt around the city.
Ooh.
So that was cool. And then we went. It was cool. We went kayaking.
Did y'all do the tour? Did y'all do the tour around the little?
We didn't do it this time with the kids, but we did it last time when just the two of us went.
Did you see who supposed to be found at the place who had the big house on the hill?
Yeah, the Wrigleys. Must be nice to be rich, man, to own an island, or to just buy an island. Be like, oh, it'd be nice to hang out here and just buy it.
Yeah, you can
Must
do
be
that.
Nice. I mean, people could. Somebody did.
I wonder how much they paid to buy it, though. Back then, maybe it wasn't really that much.
Well, according to the story that we heard, he got it for a discount because the people who had it before him were like going to default or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he probably got it for a steal.
Why do people say at the end of their comments
on a foreclosure and
yeah.
Right. A lot of people say what?
I forgot.
You stupid.
You smarter.
A lot of people do say I forgot.
Yeah.
So Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine are trying something extremely different with a new LA school. So Beats co-founder Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine have teamed up with Los Angeles Unified School District to launch an innovative new high school that will support about 124 9th and 10th graders starting in 2022. Tentatively named the Regional High School number 1, the new school will offer a unique curriculum with a focus on a multidisciplinary, hands-on learning and a strong emphasis on real-world projects. Its intent is to mirror the educational model of the USC Ivy and Young Academy, which opened to college students in 2014 with a focus on design, business, and technology. I think this is amazing that they're doing this, but it really feels like it's unfair that only 124 students will be able to learn the way that I think that every student should be learning. Like, if I had a hands-on experience in school and not just a sit down, take notes, listen to me, remember everything that I tell you. If I would have had take this apart, put this back together, this is how this works. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, that'd have been so much more of a great experience than the format that they have now.
Absolutely.
I have a friend that his daughter and himself, they live in what country is that? I don't want to say Ecuador, not Guatemala, damn it,
Honduras,
not Guatemala, not Honduras. It'll come back to me. But they live on a kind of like a compound there, and the way that those kids learn is everything is hands on. They you know what I'm saying, they grow their own. They grow their own food. They teach them how to work a garden. You know, and those kids at like 8 years old is already doing like trigonometry and stuff like that too, because of the way that they are learning.
Shout out to Mr. Back here, rest in peace. One of my teachers in high school. He was an African studies teacher, and the way he taught was unbelievable.
Word. Like,
so
give
beautiful.
us an example. Like, how do you how did he keep your attention?
If he talked about African history, because it was history, right? He would bring in the cloth. He would dress like it sometimes. He would tell stories. He would have film. It was just so beautiful. He would bring roots. These African I guess they say African roots is what they chew on to keep their teeth clean. And he used to give those to us while he teach the class, and he gave you that African experience, right? And he made you proud to be and who your heritage and your history, where it came from. He was unbelievable. He the one he directed and wrote the movie Deuces. It was a movie called Deuces. If you're familiar with that, and he did a couple more things. He wrote books and all this stuff. He was an unbelievable teacher. And if teachers can kind of channel into how he taught, it'd be amazing.
Do you think it would learn? Do you think it would change if teachers were paid more? Do you think they can start rooting out the people here just for the money? There's always going to be people who do stuff for the money. That's going to always be. But do you think they would? Good morning, Victor Orlando. Do you think they would start rooting out like some of the people who are about it, some of the people who are not about it? Yeah. Like, because it really should be like that. It should be people who enjoy teaching should be teachers.
Absolutely.
Not just somebody who needs a job.
But some people are doctors and don't really enjoy it. Some people play sports and really don't like it, but they're just good at it, or they just do it because of the title, from behind. But I will say teachers should be paid a lot more. I mean, I think the average teacher makes to 30 to 40,000 a year, and then if they get their masters, they get 60. I mean, you can't even live off of 60 grand a year. You know what I'm saying? Like in a single home. So I think they should be able to be paid a lot. They should get a lot more. It should start at 80 to me, with great benefits and everything.
Word.
And then with your masters, totally 100, 120. Because they're teaching our future. They're the most important people in this world.
And you're exactly right. And you know what I'm saying? I think it's funny that the administrators make so much money. Like, the superintendents, and you know what I'm saying? Like we would go to some of the school events and you would see like the superintendents and all them cars and stuff parked in the lobby. Like, okay, they balling out of control. Why the teachers not balling out of control?
Janitors make more than the teachers too with overtime. And you see them, they drive off with a mop in a brand new Bentley. I mean, like, damn.
What janitor you saw getting a Bentley?
Suckers.
You ever see any of those videos of people who are like do the homeless, and they got the signs and all that kind of stuff like that too? But then they leave and go like a mile away and get inside their next car and drive away. Yeah,
and some of those fake though, right?
Probably. But there was a guy that he did that kind of busking on the subway system in New York, and that dude was getting paid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was almost like, why get a job if I could beg and get this kind of money? Like, he was doing good as a beggar.
He would do like this. a dollar.
Come on, let me holler. Come on, let me holler.
Anyway, so big magic trick.
So big shout out to Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine. I think this is definitely a step in the right direction, and I think we're a little bit behind on the educational system. I wish I remember MF Doom. One of the places that we went to for the High School Nation tour, I can't remember what state it was in, but that school also, I was like, my mouth was on the floor, like because they had different sections in the school. Like if you wanted to be an auto mechanic, they were teaching those students how to be auto mechanics. If you want to be an artist, they had like a wing for artists. If you want to do this or that or this, like they had different sections of the school that catered toward teaching you a craft that you can use. So by the time you graduate, you can go get a job and just go build cars. Right. Because college ain't for everybody. So it's for the people who you know what I'm saying, they didn't want to go to college, they have a paid skill now. You can go get a job.
Come here, buddy.
Oh well. Who are you kissing?
But I do want to say
we got a puppy.
Type of education
no, you didn't.
Is it a real?
Go ahead. Yeah, no, it's real. Seriously.
No, you're gonna pull a sock up again.
No, I'm serious. Right? He's sleeping.
I'm sleeping. You just said, let me see. Lift him up. He can't. Oh, you really got a puppy?
Oh, yeah.
Put him up to. Hold on. Put him up to the camera.
No.
Yes. Come on,
Why
Cheese.
are you shy about it?
We can't see it.
I dropped him.
That ain't real. You an ass. Sorry, KK. Sorry, KK.
Sorry,
what did you about to say?
Finish. I'm sorry.
So, as I was saying, this type of education does exist around the world, you know, not just in America, as well as Europe, Asia, and other places. But it does take a lot of money to have this type of education. You have to have the space. You have to be able to provide all those experiences to have these people be free and be learning and be teaching at the same time. I know this one experienced, Tyler, I can't think of his last name, but he had gone to a school like that where, you know, they would get together to wake up, make breakfast, do all their responsibilities, set the tables, you know, do whatever activity that they're supposed to do at that particular time. They could be cleaning up the, you know, cow doo-doo from the cow farm and going to the, you know, agricultural section to, you know, growing, I don't know, like vegetations, fruits, whatever the situation, things like that. But that takes that much room, that takes that much money, that takes that much more people. So I think it's great that they are starting with the 124. It, you know, hopefully this works, because if it works, then with them being celebrities, it will definitely make it be, you know, maybe other people will be interested in providing that type of philanthropy, like service that way. But, you know, to say that, you know, why just 124? It's like those 124 should feel really privileged and grateful, and thank goodness for, you know, at least 124 can be involved in it. It's like, I don't think it should be looked down on that it's just 124, because with anything and everything, it starts with very small numbers, but if it works out, it builds to much greatness. So I'm glad that it's out there, and I hope, you know, in the future, one of our family members could be a part of it to experience, hopefully, what they say is really good education, that freedom that they have where you want to learn, where you want to do, where you don't want to sit back.
Word. Congratulations to DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. As much as that is like an honor that they're recognizing how hard you're working, I just found out like a couple years ago that you got to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll offer it to you, but you got to pay for your spot.
Yeah.
But at least you're solidified. You know what I'm saying? So that I guess that's good. And it goes to show, you know, especially for DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled, like one of those people who literally just started as a regular old DJ.
Right.
But I've heard that the way that you see him, like on his Instagram and whatever other sites he's on, that's really how he is in real life. Like one of those people that's like, yo, Cheese, you're the greatest. You can do it. The way you move, Cheese, nobody's like you. You are solidified.
I saw him post something with his wife exercising after having a baby, and he was doing that. And she was like, "Can you shut up?" Like, seriously, it was real. And then he hurried up and cut it off, like, because he was doing that. Come on, baby, I see it. You can do it. Look how you manifest it. You know, and he all in her face. And she said, "Can you?" But she cursed at him. She said, "Can you leave me the F alone and get away from me?"
I saw that.
I laughed so hard, dude.
Okay, how funny is that? Or how funny is that here's this guy that inspires everyone around him, but his wife is like, "Nah, son, I don't need your inspiration."
Sean told us that. You remember, Sean? He said his wife be like, "You just always positive." Like he kind of mentioned.
Oh yeah.
Another one.
Another.
It's too much, guys.
DJ MDB says sometimes fans will raise money to get their star. That's good if they can't afford it, but I'm pretty sure Khaled can afford his own star. And then when 50 Cent, I think 50 Cent was the one when I found out you got to pay for it. I'm pretty sure 50 Cent can afford his own too. So turn up. Congratulations to DJ Khaled. That's beautiful. Another person making moves too is Pharrell. I feel like we talk about Pharrell a lot when we talk about philanthropy things. I think that's it's awesome what he does, and I don't want to meet everybody. I mean, there's lots of people that'd be nice to meet, but I would like to meet Pharrell. I think Pharrell would be one of those people that, you know what I'm saying, you would hope that some of his energy would rub off on you, just especially in a creative way. Because that dude, man, I haven't heard anything bad said about Pharrell. And I think that goes to say a lot, especially in a world and in the industry where people love negativity. Nobody ever says anything bad about Pharrell.
Yeah.
They're just saying that every time when they come across him, he's like, "Yo, I got this great idea," boom, and then they just move forward with the great idea. So he's teaming up with Chanel, Chanel and Pharrell's nonprofit Black Ambition. They're joined together for a 2-part initiative. Focused on Black and Latinx entrepreneurs aimed at providing access to knowledge, insights, and opportunities from industry-leading experts. So they did the part 1 was basically for women. And then for part 2, they're going to have a series of interactive mentorship workshops available to Black Ambition Prize finalists. Focused on addressing critical capacity needs by leveraging the expertise of Chanel's leadership community, as well as House's network of experts. Workshops will be launched to help these Black entrepreneurs. So I think it's cool that Pharrell is reaching back, you know what I'm saying, for the female community, the Black and Latinx community. And I think it's amazing. Clarissa said she wants to meet Common. Oh, we met Common, Clarissa. Me and KK we went to go get my turntable serviced, and we met Common at the turntable place that we was at. Cool guy. He was asking, you know, my niece is gonna be a DJ. Should she get CDJs or turntables and blah blah. We had that whole conversation. Shout out to Common.
He looks just like himself. Or
he does look like himself. He still looks like himself. Like Common is Common. So also I want to lead off that because the Pharrell thing had one section for females, and then they had the next section for like kind of the other Black and Latinx people. Now, on June 27th, big shout out to Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is going to be getting the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards.
Woo-hoo!
So big shout out to Queen Latifah. She's only 51, so she's kind of young to be getting like a lifetime achievement, because I feel like Queen Latifah got so much more she can do.
But she been around since I was a little kid, dude.
Yeah,
She been around for a long time. She's been around,
time. And it's been so many different reinventing herself. I really like Queen Latifah. I really do.
Dope, dude.
She's dope. So BET announced on June 15th that Latifah will receive the Lifetime Achievement Award at this year's BET Awards on June 27th. She'll be the third youngest solo artist to receive that honor. The youngest is Whitney Houston at just 37, and then Mary J. Blige got it when she was 48. Shout out to them. This year's BET Awards will be hosted by Taraji P. Henson, and the theme of this year's show is Year of the Black Woman.
Right on.
Now, what I'm trying to find out, Ed's about to join us also, and I can ask Ed this also when he joins us. This is also probably good timing. Let me add here, Mr. Ed Moore.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Welcome.
morning.
Good to have you here back on the Unique and Cheese Show, sir.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties. Wait a minute.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I think your Wi-Fi is doing backflips.
He like this.
Is this more problems? Am I creating?
You sound like
I
this.
got full bars. I got all my.
I don't know what it is, but it is not working.
Jai, come back
playing
in.
with us.
Can't hear none of that. What you're saying? Like,
He said, "Can he come back in?" I think.
Yeah.
Can
I
he
mean, we
come
could.
back in?
Yeah. Try that. Take that.
I know how to talk robot talk.
I don't know. God, I hope I don't talk. I think I talk like that for a week once.
You probably did it for a month.
I did it for a month. I'll ask this when Ed comes back: do you feel like they're separating black men and black women as two different races?
What?
You feel like they're separating black women and black men as two different races? Like, are they being treated as two different things?
I'm not sure about that. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
But two different genders.
Well, I'm not even talking about genders. I'm just talking about in the plight of black society. Is it being treated like black men and black women are two different entities?
I don't think so. Why do you say that?
Because I feel like they're being like singled out and celebrated on their own, but there's is never anything for black males, and I really feel like a lot of the.
Okay, so we don't see like white women like being celebrated, Asian women separated. It's like Asian people, white people.
Yes.
Right.
You know, Latinos but for black people, I guess you're questioning why females separately from males or males separately from females. Like, why not all combine? Like,
why not all combine? And I'm not saying this in a way that I'm not saying don't celebrate black women. I think that we have incredible black women doing incredible things, and they should be celebrated. But let's see here. DJ MJB says, I think black males have been celebrated for years, but black women always took a back seat. Okay.
Yeah, that I was gonna say something to that extent. Like, basically what I feel, if you getting that and you feeling that vibe, I think it's because black women, like what he was saying, it's not being, they always been on the back burner of black man. We was always the last person, right? So then we start getting our little praise, and now where's the black women at? You know what I'm saying? So now I think they separating themselves, not separating themselves, but they should have their own lane to say, okay, black women are powerful and great also, right? And I think that's what it is. It's not. It's nothing. And I get what you're saying. It's not negative. You're not saying that it's not bad or good. I mean, it's cool. It is what it is. But I get what you're saying, though, right?
It is what it is, and I guess I'm mostly saying what I'm saying because I watched an interview with a guy, and it was 4 women, and it was like Ice Cube. And Ice Cube was talking about his platinum plan. This was, and he talking about how he still wanted to meet with the Democrats and still discuss the plan. And the women on the panel were like, "Well, we think your plan is cool, but there's nothing in it specifically for black women. And Ice Cube was like, aren't y'all black? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why does it have to be specific for black women? You guys are black too. I'm talking about the black community. Why are you separating yourselves from the community and you want individual things as women when we trying to get this all together?
Is he moving? Oh yeah, he moving.
There he is. Give us a check 1 2. Ed. Give us a check 1 2.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
There we go.
No, what I did, I got off my Wi-Fi and I'm just going on the 5G situation. So I think it's
turn up. Oh, you got that 5 Jesus going down right now, then, because you know what I'm saying.
Well, man, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying not to catch too much radiation. I don't know.
Oh, turn up with the 5 Jesus. Yeah, so that's more why I was asking that. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess we need a black woman on the panel to ask, like, do they feel like they have to have their own, you know, niche carved out of the struggle for themselves, and you know what I'm saying, separate from us as a whole? I guess I would have to ask Vivica Fox and them that, because they were the ones that were attacking Ice Cube basically. And I was almost embarrassed watching this. It's like, why are they attacking this man who has a plan?
We always do that. It's so sad. I don't know why we do that to each other though. Why attack? I mean, give your opinion out of love, right? Like, this brother is trying to do something positive. Where your plan at then? You know what I'm saying? But I and I don't want to attack them sisters, but
I'm not attacking them. But that's what happened though. Ice Cube was like, "Hey, look, if you want to sit down and come up with a plan, let's do that. What do you want in the plan?" None of them had nothing to say. They just wanted to complain.
That's like my son. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm like, so what do you want?" I don't know. Well, you can't complain about something and you don't know what, you know what I mean? It's like,
I feel as though these are women who have gone through a lot of struggles in their own, you know, buildup of their own careers. And they likely they recognize all the things that was not there for them. So when new plans come about like this, even though it may be great, they already see the hole. So they're just saying, hey, instead of thinking about it in the back burner, like all the things that they had to fight through to get, like, take care, like, don't overlook us, you know, when you create your sports, whatever things, you know that you have to have separate things for females. There's things that are necessary for females that men don't necessarily think about unless it's brought up, and we don't want to have to take care of it later to, you know, spend more. Just do that now so that we don't feel like we're not being treated equally.
Right.
Word.
So, you know, maybe it came about in a wrong way, but chances are they've always gone through or have had to go through a lot more than other people that are walking the similar walks that they walk. So they're just saying, hey, just take care of it to begin with. Like, you're thinking of them, you're thinking of that, you're thinking of this. Why are you not thinking of me? So think of me.
Word. Got you. Totally makes sense. But I think when if someone says that, then have what you want ready to say that. You know what I'm saying? So if you say, hey, don't forget to include us, and somebody says, include what? And you're like, well, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's not productive. That's if you are ready to fight and battle for what you want, then at least know what you want.
Be prepared, right?
Be prepared. That's only fair. Yeah. So, Mr. Ed, it's been a while, brother Ed. I hate saying Mr. Ed because that was a goddamn horse, but brother Ed, it's been a while since we chatted with you, brother. What's new? What's going down in your life?
What's up,
Ed? Oh man, everything's so wonderful. It's just the bomb, you know. Just bought a property, bought a house. Me and my wife, we bought a house, so you know, we're happy about that. Not in California. I'll be moving out of state.
Turn up.
So yeah,
turn up.
I'm moving out of state. So I'm one of the California exodus people who are leaving the state of California for a better state.
Turn up.
Lower taxes and better opportunities for a fruitful life and the quality of living better.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are the things I've been on, you know. Trade day, not trading today because I'm talking to y'all.
Turn up. Thank you for stepping away from your trades. We do appreciate that.
Yeah. It's been good. I miss you guys. I love being on your show. So,
Yeah, man.
other than that, man, I just been good, man. Praise God, and just happy you made it through. The COVID thing is winding down, and I was blessed enough to never be touched and not have very many people in my family or friends be touched by it.
Yeah.
Word.
So, it was fortunate. So we're
Awesome.
happy.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we got you on the show this morning because I really wanted to get your take on Juneteenth becoming an official national holiday.
I'm with it. I support it. All the way. There's there's a lot of people on, left and right that kind of got the whole message, I think, mixed up about what it's really all about. I feel like it's more of a cultural thing than it is a national holiday. I feel like we've already been celebrating it as a national holiday as Black folks, and it's not necessarily something you needed to make as legislation. So, to me, it's more symbolic than any substance. There's no substance in it. Making it a national holiday means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of everything, other than giving a whole bunch of white folks and everybody else a free paid day off work. So everybody else kind of wins more than Black folks actually win with this, because now everybody gets the day off, and there's not really a big thing about it to me. HB 40 is still sitting in the House. If you wanted to do something for Black folks, put HB 40 on the House floor and vote for it. That's the real something to do. So, I'm cool with it. I celebrated it already. I recognize Juneteenth already. So now it being national holiday is just all right, cool.
Word. Can you touch a little bit on what HB 40 is? Just like a brief breakdown for those that don't know.
House Bill 40, HB 40 is the study of reparations bill that was introduced into the House in 2019. It's been sitting in the House, hasn't been brought to the floor, and there has not been a vote. So HB 40 was, when all of the reparations, ADOS, Foundational Black Americans, the FBA, when all of this kind of reparations push came up between 18 and 19, then the Democratic House was introduced by a Democrat, and the Democrats introduced HB 40, a study of the plausibility of paying reparations. So that would be the most significant move outside of, some other type of revitalization program or some type of, mass investment into the, billions into the Black communities. HB 40 would be the single, greatest step forward. But again, it's still sitting there 2 years later, and the Democrats have not brought it to the floor to vote on their own bill. They now own, they not own it, but they have a majority in the House, so it will definitely pass. And it's a 50-50 in the Senate, with Kamala Harris being the tiebreaker, so it would pass there too. So right now, it doesn't surprise me with Democrats, because they blame everything on everybody else except themselves. For 4 straight years, they were talking about how Mitch McConnell is blocking everything and we can't get anything past the Senate. Well, now you have the presidency, the House, and the Senate, and you're not doing anything still. And that bill will never come to the floor, and we'll never see HB 40.
Wow, that's sad.
And that's what it is, but some symbolism is what they think Black folks need more than anything. They think Black folks just want to be recognized and praised and acknowledged. I'm gonna just say it right now. Now I use the language. They just need white folks to say I'm sorry and everything's fine. You know what I'm saying? Just acknowledge that you did my ancestors wrong, and I'm gonna feel better. You don't need to actually put any food on the table. Just put the plate there and the fork and the napkin, and I'm good. Just show me that you want to feed me, and I'm cool with it. You don't actually have to feed me.
Word. Do you think a lot of that is our community's fault, by accepting so many empty plates and dancing and celebrating every time we get the plate?
Absolutely. We've been conditioned as a group of people. We've been conditioned. I think we care more about sentiment and symbols more than substance, because we really don't know what substance tastes like, because we haven't had it in such a long time. So symbolism is enough. Get down on your knee and say Black Lives Matter and put your white fist in the air, and we love you for it.
Word. Also, I have like a brief description for those that don't know what Juneteenth commemorates. Would you, like, from an educational standpoint, kind of explain a little bit what Juneteenth is?
Well, Juneteenth was the several months after the Civil War ended in April in Appomattox. Appomattox, I believe it was April 19th, but don't quote me wrong. So the actual Civil War was over in April, but slaves down in the deep South, some parts, Texas, Oklahoma, well, actually not Oklahoma, but Texas, they did not get the news until June 19th that they were actually free for months. Some people say years, but it was actually months.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when the final word and supposedly the last slaves of slavery were freed on June 19th, when the word got all the way to them. Some supposedly some slave owners knew and just kept them. They knew they were free. They knew that what happened, and the slaves didn't know. Of course, the owners knew and the plantation knew, but they didn't know. So finally, basically, it was the Freedmen's Bureau, which was a bureau set up by the federal government to go search for slaves, anybody being held. So the U.S. government created a Freedmen's Bureau. Freedmen's Bureau was sent out across the South to make sure that there was no more slavery. If there was slavery, go arrest the slavers, free the slaves, and blah, 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 blah. It became a federal crime to continue enslaving people. So the Freedmen's Bureau finally got down there June 19th and freed these last of the last black folks. June 19th. So we celebrate June 19th as a way of saying this is when we really got free. This is when we all was free. You know what I'm saying? So
could you imagine? Here you were. I'm across the street and I'm all lollygagging and dancing cheese, and you look over there and you pick like, hey man, why he get to go over there like your slave master never told you? That's cold blooded.
That's right. That's right.
Work.
But it probably was a lot of us didn't want to still lollygag. We probably still wanted to be slaves. But
well, that's a good point. Actually, a lot of us did go back to plantation looking for their old jobs and their old homes. A lot of people did. A lot of people did.
I have a question, brother. Is this true that after like what you just was saying, basically we was said that we were free, right? And I don't know, was it years later, but was it that the slave owners were given money to protect their states and stuff like that because no more?
Well, they were it was kind of reparations. They got an early form of reparations.
Absolutely.
They did. They got an early form of reparations, and there's multiple ways to feel about it. Your emotional side and your moral side feels like, well, that's messed up. They were slaves, and this is it. But the legal aspect of it is the federal government infringed on states' rights. So we have a very unique country here. And the country is built up of individual states write their own laws and decide on what they do. And that was how it was set up. So in the process of Lincoln creating the Emancipation Proclamation, he infringed on states' rights. Basically, he broke the Union law. So this is kind of where it all kind of came from. So when he invaded basically the South, on a moral level, it was correct. But on a constitutional union country level, it was actually extreme form of totalitarianism and authoritarianism and full on type of, the South felt like it was hardcore dictator. So in the process of invading the South, taking over the South and uprooting slavery, there was case filings for damages. So slave owners lost their plantations, lost their means of labor, lost all of their slaves, all of their means of production. They filed a suit. And based on the states' rights, and also based on the Union and the North trying to appease the South in a way of, hey, we know we took all your shit and destroyed your way of life. Here's a little something for you to go into the future with. So that's a romanticized way of saying it, kind of. It is the truth, but some people would be like, hey, they shouldn't have got nothing. They was morally wrong. I feel legally, they were entitled to it, just like you would be. But
at the same time, a lot of us became homeless without anything too. So what happened with the slaves?
They did. We got Special Field Order 15. Special Field Order 15 is what we now call the 40 acres and a mule deal, which is a slang term for it. It was never called 40 acres and a mule, and there was never really 40 acres or a mule involved in the deal. But this is how it kind of came about that it ended up this. So Special Field Order 15 was ordered right after Appomattox and in the Reconstruction era. And thousands upon thousands of slaves got thousands and thousands of acres, money, and ways of creating life. It happened. Reparations happened. It absolutely happened. Now, after reparations happened, the democratic conservative South began to create Reconstruction Jim Crow laws. And these are unconstitutional laws that made it extremely hard for these new Black folks who got reparations to keep their land.
Yikes.
So by way of laws and voting laws and all these types of restrictions, and really hard to keep Black folks, it was really hard for Black folks to keep the land that they were given. So ultimately, the majority of the land was then lost through not being able to afford it, or lost through not being able to have people work it, or lost bought at a dirt cheap price, more money than a slave ever saw. But some white dude come across, be like, I'm gonna give you blah 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 for this land, which is worth millions, and he take whatever amount of money for it and gets out. A lot of slaves did not want Special Field Order 15. They didn't want to stay in the South. That's why California, Oklahoma, and many of these states in the West have so much South roots, because after slavery, they didn't want to stay, reparations or not. Millions of Black folks were like, I'm out of here. We're not going to stay. Forget this plantation. Forget this house. I don't want no land. I'm going out West. And this is why the West has so many Black folks from Louisiana and the South and Texas, generational Oklahoma. My folks are from Oklahoma off plantation. So I think in the conversation, though, that gets really missed with Special Field Order 15 is that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Black folks did not qualify to get reparations in 1865. Because you were either living up north, you were already a freed slave several years before the end of the Civil War, or you were never a slave, period. So we have to understand the concept that not every single Black person in America was enslaved. We were not all in chattel slavery. Only 300,000 Black folks came by way of slave ship into chattel slavery, and then millions spawned out of those children. But there were already millions free before the institution of slavery became legal in the 1660s. Black people were always in America way before 1492 already. So we were already here as far as our copper-colored skin. Maybe not our different cultures and creeds from Africa, but there was Black men and women, copper-colored Black men and women who were of Native descent already here. The Cherokees, the Blackfoot, the Seminole, and on and on and on. So there was already Black folks here when they decided to bring them to chattel slavery. Then the genius of a lot of these slave owners was, we don't need to actually import slaves. We've already got a copper-colored population here. They're wearing feathers, but we can enslave them and not have to worry about going to Africa or to the islands and pull up a whole bunch of people on boats. So a lot of Native Americans were enslaved, called Negro, and assumed to be African. So you see what I'm saying? And that kind of comes into play when you have all of the people who landed like in Jamestown between 1580 and 1660. We populated to nearly 1 million people free. Black townships, Black mayors already voting. This is this is during the time that there's chattel slavery in the South. Places like Vermont and Illinois and other places had Black townships already. You talk about these, these Black Wall Streets. They were already dated back way back as far as, 1580s, 1590s, 1619. When they talk about 1619, all those people that came in on the 1619 project, none of them ended up being chattel slaves. So the 1619 project leaves a big piece out of that. In 1619, every single person that came ended up wearing indentured service, not chattel slavery. They came in within 5 to 7 years. All those Black folks that came in 1619 were free, because chattel slavery did not become legal until the 1660s. So you had about 50 years of Black folks in America who were in the North and in the West, not in the South, because they were already getting on it in the South. South started early. with chattel slavery, way before it was created legal. It was created legal and mandated internationally legal in the 1660s, but it was being practiced since 1492.
A question about when they started to divvy up the land and property and started giving money to natives. And I know Native Americans, and I know a lot of the white people were taking advantage of that, so they can also get money and land and stuff like that. Also, were those the copper colored people who was trying to get the I don't know what was that called? Okay.
So that was called, well, they got reservations. Those were reservations and land reservations. It was a raw deal. To understand the copper colored skin tone, you have to go way back, all the way to South America, and begin to work up. Because when you look at Africa and you look at South America, they're actually quite close. The Mali and people from Mali and the Moroccans, they had already come to the Americas thousands of years before anybody Spanish or white or European. Anybody. So when you see the so-called Native American of today, they are a byproduct, quadroon, mulatto, racial culture byproduct. Your original Native American, before the conquistador showed up and the Spanish invaded, was quite dark. Quite dark. So if you think Spanish European white mixed with native copper color dark, you get this kind of cream colored Native American Hispanic of today. The actual Mexican, which is only a nationality, has several tribes that were original native tribes of Mexico. You've got the mestizo from the eastern side, and it's 100% super dark skin. I mean, charcoal dark. So, and these are Mexican, South Americans, and they've been there for thousands of years.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
so you have to understand that the color changed with the conquering. You know, as the conquistador crossed, and as the other nations came in, you began to lighten up the South American, and you lighten up the so-called Native American, and then around, I guess, late 1600s, when the Reconstruction was going on and they were trying to figure out what to do with all the Native Americans, then you have a thing called the $5 Indian.
The $5
and this is
Indian,
when
I was trying to remember.
This is when hardcore blonde hair, blue eye rednecks were paying to get on the Dawes Rolls. The Dawes Rolls is the census of Native Americans. They took a huge census on the Dawes Rolls, and this is what basically America recognized you as a Native American if your family is on this roll, on all these rolls. A lot of black folks have family on these rolls. I actually have family on these rolls. But there was a lot of white folks who basically wanted to get that land and wanted to get that free government and wanted to, take advantage of it. So they were paying, county clerks across the country or different judges to allow their family to get on the Dawes Rolls. And this is where you get all these light, bright, super blonde hair, blue eyed Cherokees. Talk about, my family's Cherokee. Okay, cool. Sure. And there were still white folks, white men who were taking, squaw wives and Cherokee wives, Choctaw wives, and then they were mixing, so there are some, mixed blood Native Americans, but there's also quite a few $5 Indians that just are not natives at all.
So I guess it's fair to say, like, it's this guy I met years ago that I used to play basketball with, and he said he's 100% Native American, but he has blue eyes, blonde hair, freckles, and he's so proud of his culture and his heritage. So he's part of that, what you're saying, correct?
Yeah, his people probably were, did that early. 100 years ago, his people turned Cherokee, and now all he knows is I'm Cherokee. I was raised it, and you know what I mean? But your great granny is the one who jumped on the Dawes Roll. There's no way
he gets the benefits of all of
absolutely
those things still today. Like,
absolutely.
I believe he was telling me his education is paid for free. Even where he lives in a nice area, and the perks that he gets, like his rent is not as expensive as like certain things that we don't know that they get. They get the little bit easier life.
Yeah, well, that's the Elizabeth Warren effect, right? She went to school on her Native American heritage. I got high cheekbones, so my family always said, I'm Native American. No, boo, you're not.
So what it seems
not
like,
really.
it seems like this country tries to do the right thing, and sometimes they do put things in place to do the right thing, but then another part of the country comes up behind it and be like, nah.
There's gonna be a grifter somewhere. There's grifters in the wings somewhere, everywhere. Throughout time, somebody's gonna take advantage. Somebody's gonna take advantage. The dynamic. You made a good point. That you said. America does try to do some things cool. Like in the narrative of today, I hear most people say or speak about America as if it's a monolithic being, like it's a human being. America did this to us. America did this to us. As if it's, not just a landmass, geographical landmass, northeast, west, and south. It's actual person doing harm to you. So I think that gets missed in the narrative is that, especially when it comes to like black folks, quote unquote, people of color, or anybody when it comes to this white debate, we have to understand that there's more than one whitey. Right? It's more than one. So every single time you try to do a lump kind of white people are this, you disregard every single one of these white people that were in the struggle with you that made any kind of progress. Any kind of progress that black folks have had anywhere in America has somebody's white fingerprints on it. From your freedom to your chattel slavery being broken away, from your abolitionists to the white men who died in the trenches fighting for you, to the legislation and the Civil Rights Act and all of those white Republicans that voted and wrote it and passed it. Every single thing that you have in America when it comes to black folks, native black folks in America, there's somebody white's fingerprints on it. Some way. So it depends on which white person are you talking about in America. What white people? Which white people? Which white people created the Klan? Not all white people created the Klan. There's a specific group of white people who have a specific ideology, who had a specific political position. It was those white people. Not all white people are Black Lives Matter, and I got Black Lives Matter everywhere in my White House on my white shirt, and they're not all taking the knee and putting their white fist in the air. There's a specific type of white person with a specific type of white ideology. So you can't, just like black folks are not a monolith and we do not all think alike. Asians do not all think alike. Hispanics do not all think alike. White people are not all in the same game. So this America, talking about America as if, America did this to you. It's a bit naive, and it's more about narrative than it is about substance. You know what I mean? You have to be able to understand, which whitey are we talking about?
No, I'm glad you said that, because I have a question about the Black Lives Matter narrative. I would like to say, like, what is the benefit of showing videos of police either killing or harassing or abusing any person of color? What is the purpose of continuously showing that footage? You know what I'm saying? Because we live in a country of 330 million people. To show what bad thing happened to one person over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. What do you think is the narrative behind it to keep pushing that forward? Like that's the only thing happening right now in this country.
Media mass mind control, media manipulation, psychological terrorism on the population, creates racial division, and it's divisive. 1000%. That's what the reason is, and that's why they do it. Because fear sells more than peace sells. People want to be scared or they want to be angry, so they keep the population infuriated, confused, frustrated, and angry. That way, the real people in control don't have to work so hard controlling a population of awake people, truly awake people who are one under one nation. And when they're fighting each other over fake race, over fake this, over fake feminism, over fake, whatever the hell you want to call the divisions between man, woman, and child, of race, creed, culture. And this is why they do these things. It's psychological attack on the population. And it's all meant to pull people apart so that they can then step in and action reaction solution, Hegelian dialect, this situation. You know, if we keep people fighting, we keep people angry, we can work out some type of legislation that we want. We can control people's minds, and then we can do whatever we want. And I think that's what it's all about. Black Lives Matter is a white liberal owned business, owned by white people, funded by white people. The majority of the population of people who are out there with a white fist in the air, white women who are 60% of the actual global organization. You know what I mean? Black people are starting to wake up. So you have to start separating what Black Lives Matter, the ideology, versus Black Lives Matter, the organization, right? Because, you know, started off as a black thing and now it isn't. And now people have to try and now justify why you keep saying it out your mouth. So it's like, oh, you know, it's the idea, you know, Black Lives Matter, the idea versus Black Lives Matter, the organization. We all know that that's white liberals. So, you know, it's a weird situation right now, you know, but again, it's a grifter organization. I know people don't want me, you know, a lot of people support Black Lives Matter. Again, when it was started in Ferguson, when the shit started with the brothers in St. Louis, and when the real chant and the real hashtag went out, I supported it. But when it became an organization of global magnitude that's run by white liberals and predominantly dominated by white liberals, lesbian Marxists who do not like the nuclear family of man, woman, child, you know, in interjecting tons of Marxist ideology, which, you know, I'm good on it personally. You know, I'm black and I'm good on all the Marxist, communist, socialist stuff. So I don't really think that we need to be speaking Black Lives Matter, but it's really all about LGBTQ rights. So they've really jumbled up a whole lot of agenda inside of this so-called BLM, who's all about police shootings, and we only talk about police shootings. That's why we don't go march when a black child is shot by a stray black bullet, you know, in the hood, because we only deal with police. That's what they say, but that's not true, because they've got tons of LGBT community legislation and things that they're trying to do. Now they've got the 1619 project, which is education. So BLM is quite more than just police shootings, and it definitely isn't about actual black lives. It's about black power in white liberals' hands. That's just my own take on it. You know, that's why they keep making you mad, because if niggas is mad, they not thinking. If niggas is mad, they not knowing how to make their money. They not trying to build a school, build something, when they're trying to burn it down. So let's keep these Negroes trying to burn some shit down versus build some shit up. So show them again, show them again. Somebody got shot, show them again. Whitey did this, Whitey did that, Whitey did this. You know, keeps you not building anything, keeps you mad.
And I think it's really sad that a lot of people are not catching on to that. You know what I'm saying? Because it had to have been about a year ago. Because I even told Cheese, like, you don't got to send me these videos no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Because it's just like a why. Maybe just ask, why do they keep showing this? Like, why this not
the narrative? Well, the narrative is only whitey can be racist, and only against black people and so-called people of color. It's the only way racism exists. Racism doesn't exist from Hispanic to black, or from black to Asian, or from this. No, that's not racism. When black folks jump on an Asian, that's still white supremacy. You know, white supremacy made him do that. So only white people can be racist in America. So this is why they only show you white cops killing black people, when white cops and black cops alike kill everybody. Cops are equal opportunity murderers. You don't do what they say, they will body you. Period. They will body you. There are white folks all over this country getting shot up by the police, but white media doesn't want to show you that because it goes against the narrative. We cannot go against the narrative. We can't talk about black on, well, I don't even want to say black on black crime. We can't talk about black victims of homicide, victims with black perpetrators in black communities, because it goes away from the narrative. We're pushing a anti-whitey narrative, and we can't show anything, black people doing anything to themselves, because it goes against the narrative. We can't show a Hispanic woman attacking an Asian woman on a bus for absolutely no reason, because it goes against the narrative. So you don't get that news. You can't get the black guy who knocked out another Asian man and robbed him, and then has two other priors beating up old folks. Can't show that because it goes against the narrative. So, you know, anything white is going to be on your TV. Why? To infuriate black folks and so-called POC. You know,
yeah,
it's just, that's why they're doing it. You know,
I thought it was funny when I saw a video of an Asian lady talking about how the blacks attacking Asians was a white supremacy thing. And it was like one of the things I had hit the pause button, like, huh?
That's right. That's right. They will not hold black people accountable just so they can then still hold the narrative.
Word.
Still hold the narrative. Well, white supremacy has this black guy all fucked up. So, you know, he attacked the Asian, but it wasn't his fault. It was all this white supremacy going on.
Yeah, because he can't think for himself.
Yeah. No,
he doesn't.
No,
he doesn't make his own decisions.
No. It's all this white supremacy has got him attacking this woman or this man for absolutely no reason. You know, and I'm deep. You know, I'm kind of deep in multiple Asian communities in LA, right? Especially there's a Cambodian community in Long Beach that I've been messing with for a long time through the dance community. It was a whole bunch of Asian crumpers. Mm-hmm. There was all these crump dancers, and they were all these Asians in Long Beach, Cambodians and Vietnamese, and there was just a bunch of them, like a gang, but they were all dancers. And I got really close with them, you know, and these people are so real cool, and they just came, and most of them are here just trying to make a life, you know, really just like everybody else. Really good folks, really good people. But they catch a lot of hell in all directions in Long Beach. You got the Mexicans, and you got the blacks, and then they catch a lot of hell in Long Beach, you know, and they're really good, hearted people, you know, so I got a vibe for them, you know, and I got a feel for them. And honestly, I recently talked to one of them after a long time, and I said, hey, what do you feel about all this, like, Asian shit? He said, man, you know, we kind of deal with that. But it feels like, even he said, there's a lot of Asians who are running around like, nah, we don't really feel like there's a huge attack on Asians right now. Like, we don't really see it. Like, you know, like my boys from Koreatown, they're like, no, it's not really happening like that. We don't really see it. Now, there are incidences. There's incidences that you can find, you know, but in a mass level, there's not this huge attack on Asians going on everywhere. It is happening. It does happen. Just like everything happens. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that's a question. Who created the legislation, and how did they get it passed so fast to stop Asian hate? Because it seemed like one week they mentioned it, and the next week it's a law. Like, it was like, huh?
That'll show you how powerful the House Democrats can be when they want to pass something. When they want to get something done, they get it done, no problem. And that'll show you. Again, it's narrative. To me, it's an empty gesture, just like the lynching bill. Okay, so both of these bills are empty. There's no reason to write an anti-Asian hate bill. That's a ridiculous bill. There's no reason to write an anti-lynching bill. That's a ridiculous bill. First, you want to know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's already illegal to do violence against anyone.
Word.
It's already a law. They don't need a special law for their skin tone or their culture to not hate on me. You have a constitutional right already. Is protected against violence against you. You get attacked, there's a law already in place for that, regardless of what your color is, regardless of what your creed is. There's already laws in place that protect people. So if you get attacked, I don't need a special bill for me that's going to prosecute this person. There's already laws in place. Same for lynching. There's no reason to do a post-mortem lynching bill. Lynching anybody in the day is already against the law. You go lynch somebody, see what happens to you. We don't need a bill to make it now and make me come after you. So it's all post. It's all, you know, posturing to me. It has no substance. This bill means nothing, and this bill means nothing. In the grand scheme of one, ain't nobody getting hung. I'm sorry. Nobody getting hung. I remember a couple years ago, we kept coming across these, somebody was hung in a tree. Somebody was hung in a tree. 3 of them, all 3 turned out to be suicide. Word. But they pumped it. Black man was hanging in a tree somewhere. Oh my God, must be whitey. Turned out he killed himself. All 3 of these situations.
Yeah.
All 3 were suicides. But the narrative ran with it for weeks. Somebody whites out here hanging niggas. No, it's not true. So all these things are to make people think that they're working for you, because again, people want superficial things. Just tell us that you care about us. So all you need to do is just say that you're thinking about me. You don't need to do nothing. Just act like you are. Asian hate bill is acting like you give a shit. Lynching bill is acting like you give a shit. Both of them have no substance.
The one in Victorville, I remember they went to the story. They ran the story for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then they never came back to say what really happened. Like I just have friends in Victorville that end up telling me what really happened, but they never ever put it back up again.
Because they can't. Because when the truth comes out, then they just it's next story. You know, they don't ever come back and correct. All these years that you hear these liars on all of your favorite news channels, that's left, right, and center. I'm talking about Fox and all the rest of them. They come out and they lie to your face for a year. And then when the truth comes out, they never come back and be like, hey, you know, we was wrong about that shit. Never. Never. You know, they lied to you for a year, got you thinking all kind of stuff. Well, let's talk about it. Wuhan lab. You were a conspiracy theorist, racist against Asians, if you even questioned if the coronavirus came from a lab. You were a Trump-supporting conspiracy radical if you did not accept somebody ate a black bat and it spread in a wet market. If you didn't accept that, and if you went against it, if you posted anything, Facebook and medias and all the different social medias banned you, deleted you. And now where are we now in 2021, a year later? Oh, I think we need to have an investigation into the Wuhan lab. Oh, okay. And now here we are. Now it's okay to say. Why is it okay? Because there's a different guy in office. And this guy wasn't saying it like the other guy. Trump literally came out of his mouth and said, oh, it's from Wuhan lab. Oh, you're a racist for saying that. Here we are a year later. Oh, it's from the Wuhan lab. So, you know, and they won't still say, hey, you know, we was wrong as shit. Censored everybody. We censored thousands of people on social media. Banned a gang of people. They won't come back and say that. They'll just, you know, on to the next. Because the population of sheep will forget and just be on to the next. You know.
So I have a question.
Wild stuff, man. We're living in wild times, ladies and gentlemen.
It's very different, and I imagine it's going to spawn a lot of good movies and stuff when in the future when everybody's more comfortable to sit back and watch it. But the insurrection, which will probably also be another movie. We haven't talked to you about that. You know,
that was a false flag trespass.
A false.
They call it an insurrection, but basically, you know, there's already new information coming out. Basically, you know, it might be looking like the FBI kind of playing the whole thing. You know, down the rabbit hole. We've already got a whole bunch of people who are connected with ex-FBI people. We've got some people named John Sullivan, who was hired by CNN and NBC to infiltrate into the Capitol to get videos for them. He is a known Antifa and BLM activist who dressed up in my gear, black guy at that. And so we'll see how this all pans out. Actually, we'll see what the arrests are. From what I understand, the majority of all of these arrests that they're having are resulting in trespassing charges, not insurrection, not treason, not sedition, not violent overtaking of the government. They've all boiled down to trespassing, right? So how much of an insurrection was it if the charges are boiling down to trespassing? But of course, you're not going to hear a lot of this. I use a lot of alternative media that I read instead of just the standard 5 that don't tell you anything, you know? So there's a lot of videos circulating around that absolutely show Capitol State Police opening the gates, waving people into the building. They've got inside the video. That's why right now there's a lot of Republicans who are fighting for the videos. Hours and hours of the videos from outside and inside. And why is the DOJ and Democrats blocking Republicans from seeing the video footage? Because they don't want you to see the police not doing anything, standing by, watching while people are breaking the windows, not doing their jobs, watching the police open doors, open gates, wave them in. You don't want to see the video of a man from inside the Capitol open the Capitol door and move out of the way while people walk in. So there's something else far deeper that happened, something planned happened on January 6th, and there's proof of it. And there's a whole lot of people trying to get that proof, and there's a lot of people trying to stop them as well. So it's out there for you. I implore you and anybody in this chat, or anybody watching, just Google it. Just literally go to DuckDuckGo and type in your search, January 6th, police opening up the gates. You will see the Capitol Police waving in. Come on in. Come on in. There's another video of them while they're inside. They're inside. All of these so-called insurrectors are getting instructions from one of the police inside. The police is saying, okay, y'all, just don't tear shit up. This is y'all's house. This is the people's place. You guys can walk around. This is where all those pictures came from. And how is the media there? All these media people with these media cameras just to capture this. You see? So the reason why this was done was to do what it's doing. Exactly. Again, a psychological mind F on the public, to make you think that there is a group of people who are trying to take over your government, and they're all Trump supporters. So that's another false narrative, and it will be proven true that it's not what it was. It's not what it was. Do you know that there's a brother from North Hollywood that got arrested? A black dude. There's a black dude. I can't remember his name. I have to dig his name up. I'll send it once I get it. But there's a brother who's an actor living in North Hollywood who went out. He's a walk away off the Democratic plantation. Felt like he wanted to go see Trump's speech and go stand there and be a patriot. Wasn't even inside the Capitol. He's been arrested. He's being held. Didn't even go in. Supposedly there's 400 arrests of people.
Is that the dude? Is that the dude that had the album cover? Is it? I know there was a guy that was. Remember you talked about that weeks ago, Cheese? The dude that took a picture for his album cover was.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Word.
No, it was just some brother. So the January 6th thing was a trip, man. I think there's so many things going on, but again, I'm down the rabbit hole. I'm a truther. I'm more of a person that doesn't believe anything, and I'll go look it all up for myself and probably find some alternative information that doesn't go with the narrative. And I think more people need to be like that. More people, I've got time to look left, right, and center at information. A lot of people don't have very much time. And a lot of people just stick to their one situation. I got a lot of people on the right who swear by Fox News. I don't give a fuck about Fox News. I don't watch Fox News because you're just liars like the rest of them. So, if you're not reading your information, you're probably not getting good information. If you're watching it somewhere and someone's just dictating it to you. So. Trust me, guys. If I tell you anything, the January 6th is going to be one of the biggest blow-ups in modern history.
Word. How do you know what is truth?
You don't until it comes out. Usually, it comes out later. But you have to trust your critical thinking. The best way that you can find the truth is getting as much information as you can and trusting your own ability to discern. Discernment. And this is a word that people don't apply in their life, is critical discernment. Read this, read that, and does this shit seem real to you?
Word.
Are you using your own critical thinking? You know what I mean? And have you read enough information? Don't just read NPR and be like, oh, well, NPR said, Go read everybody. Go read every con and every pro to it. And in the middle somewhere, between your own discernment, your own critical thinking, trust your own gut and intuition to see the truths and the falses in it. There's only one way you're going to find out, is that's when it all comes out. When it all finally comes out, that's the only way you're going to know. Until then, you never really know. We never really know the truth. They lying about everything all the time. So how do you know the truth? And everybody's lying about everything all the time. There's no left or right to this. It's both of them, all of them. Word. Always doing it all day and day. And that's just it. So if you're not using your own faith in here to use this thing to discern for yourself what is real, what is fake, what is a lie, and what isn't. And don't just, you know, I save myself because I trust nothing. I don't trust nothing. I believe you're lying to me off that. And I'm not going to believe you until something else materializes. I will not believe the first thing I hear ever, period, because you're known liars. You've proven to be known liars.
Word.
There's no reason to believe it first. Don't believe it first. You know, I'm the type, most people be like, oh, I just heard it, and they believe it first. I'm the type to be like, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe it first. I'll wait because down the line, in a couple of weeks, the narrative will change. Somebody else will come out, a whistleblower will pop up, and then all of a sudden we were all fucking lied to. Oh no!
I hate this be like the.
You know, it's all crazy, brother.
I hate to be like the pessimist, but a lot of times when I hear something, you automatically go, "That's some bullshit."
That's
like,
some bullshit.
It makes you turn your face and be like, "What?"
It's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. Yeah, you know, and it happens. It happens all the time. You know. So, you know, it took me a long time to be able to just say, hey, everybody's lying. Everything we know is a lie about everything. Everything you were taught is probably some type of half-truth or lie involved. And that's from childhood indoctrination. They start you off really young telling you bullshit about your faith,
Santa Claus,
world you live in, about
bunny rabbit. I mean, you know, rabbits for Easter. And yeah, it starts a lie.
Starts early, man. Starts early. And you accept authority. And this is where it is, where people don't really understand how mentally controlled they are. They are conditioned to accept authority, regardless. So that's the problem. You know, we don't have enough people to say, hey, fuck you in America anymore. Everybody's like, okay, I'll do it. Or I don't want to rock the boat. Or I don't want to get canceled. Or I don't want to be, you know, everybody's not doing what their inertia and their intuition is telling them to, because out of fear of being ostracized by friends and family or co-workers or blah 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 or blah 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 blah. So people are now zipping their lips and they're being controlled.
I have a question about that too. I'd like to get your take on what do you think it is about our society now where more people want to be accepted as celebrity than anything else, like people doing stuff like doing damage to themselves online or others, or you know, anything to get attention, anything to get clout, anything to get like, okay, so I came across this story yesterday about this thing called the Blackout Challenge. Has anybody heard anything about the Blackout Challenge? If you don't know what the Blackout Challenge is, basically there's kids basically online doing things to basically see how long they can go without breathing. A few children, like this one story about this kid died. This other kid is now currently in the hospital. He's brain dead, all because of a challenge that they're trying to do on TikTok, the Blackout Challenge. So, and this just goes along the narrative. Why is it being pushed so hard for everybody to want to be famous, internet famous, or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like that's where everyone is.
It's just
going.
the time, man. Yeah, it's just the time. Our kids unfortunately, kids that are growing up in a digital, you know, world. It's unfortunate. I think there's many layers to this. Okay, I think there's many layers to this. One of them is the fact that they're born with a thing in their face. That's one. Right here, instantly. You've got some type of device instantly. There's a loss of values of what, you know, our generation and our parents' generation. We found celebrity and popularity through accomplishment, right? Things that you did. If you were the jock, or if you were the smart this, or if your hair was dope, you did your hair, or if you dressed a certain way. It was very analog. So you were very interactive in what you did, and it was localized. So it was literally people, you know, people are the ones that, when you went to school, it was people. Now these kids, they've got everything they need in a phone or in a device, and they're looking for just a simple like or a share or this and that and the other. So it's so detached. You know, these people that actually like me and love me don't even know me, have never even met me. You know, so it's so detached that people, I think that it has made people do more things that you wouldn't do because it's such a detachment. You'll degrade yourself that much more because I'm doing it for a screen and not for actually people who are actually around me. I'm not actually here. I'm doing it for my screen. I think that it comes a lot with this whole kind of participation culture, participation trophy culture. You're not actually pressing young people to be accomplished, have goals, and then be rewarded for those goals and find the popularity in the actual accomplishment or the work that's done. So when you're just basically saying to people, well, you don't have to excel in anything. You just have to have a bunch of people watching. Which means, prime example, like my wife, for some reason, used to like this woman who would dance in her underwear. So there was a heavy-set woman, hair messy, wore bra and panties, and just danced crazy. My wife watched it and laughed her ass off all the time. This woman had millions of people watching her do buffoonery. Total buffoonery. And that's what I'm saying. That wouldn't pass in our generation because we don't have all these people watching. You're local. You're local. You got to go there to do it. When you DJ, you used to have to go and show up. Now you don't. Now you turn your screen on and everybody tunes in to you. You could then become lax and do things in your own home, separated from your audience that you may not do if your audience is right in front of your face. Things you may say or not say, because there's no instant gratification or backlash when it comes to social media. There's no instant gratification and there's no instant backlash. It all comes later. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do now, and then I'm gonna see how they like it. If it works, it isn't right now. Boo! It isn't right now. There isn't a so it's unfortunate. I think parents have a really big responsibility now to make sure that their kids are not absorbed with a lot of this stuff. We didn't have a phone. I don't understand a lot of parents. I don't think, shouldn't have a phone yet, Still a little too early, you know what I mean? Or this, that, and the other.
One thing I would say that we're very fortunate. We're very fortunate. I'll have to say Cheese is also very fortunate because we kind of don't have the children that are thirsty for attention like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not stressing over, my daughter's going to make this TikTok video, or, you know what I'm saying? My son's going to be,
exactly.
We don't have, we are very fortunate that we don't have to stress over that. And it is.
Well, I hope, I'm fortunate. I don't know what my son, he's only 8.
He don't strike me. He don't strike me as a look at me type of kid. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He stay that way, And I always tell him every day, something he did yesterday. And I just said, I hope you stay with that mind frame. Don't let this world make you feel that you're not normal because you don't go the way they beat at the drum. So hopefully, I'm keeping fingers crossed.
Keep your fingers crossed.
There's a lot of parents out here that have their kid on camera early. A lot of parents are training their kids to be on camera.
100%. I see it. I see it all the time.
From the moment that you're born, you have your own Facebook channel. Little baby infant Mahalia and her Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See it all the time. This is what I want to do. I want to give the people in the chat to have an opportunity to be able to ask Ed a question. Also for KK and Cheese, if you guys have a question, also just I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to think about what question you want to ask of Brother Ed while he's here with us. In that time, I do want to say that our Happy Father's Day song is now streaming on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, all those different things. So I'm going to play that track right now while you guys think about your question. So think about what you want to ask Ed. And if you can, be sure to stream Happy Father's Day, share with any fathers you know out there killing the game. Just gift it to them. Be like, yo, my friend made this song and this is for you because you out here killing the game. So be sure to do that. This is Happy Father's Day. Got Ombre the Great, my homie DJ Paris Paul. Think about what questions you asked for Ed. This is Happy Father's Day.
We all know about mom love, but give your daddy some kind words. If there's a will, he'll make a way. So make sure he has a Happy Father's Day. Hey.
Happy Father's Day to you. All that you do, you showed me how to love hard and tough on on me so I can conquer all the things that a life will bring. Show what it means to be a king walking proudly. I'm so grateful. Happy Father's Day, yeah, for pulling us through. Happy Father's Day, yeah. Couldn't do it without you. Happy Father's.
Big love to the guys that protect and provide and deliver on time like Amazon Prime, but we'll lay hands if you get out of line. So better show respect or electric slide to the left. Yes, Papa don't take no mess. These new age fathers under much more stress. He gotta feed you and listen to your feelings, instilling values and morals and keeping it filling, building you up. Nutrition filling you up, no better feeling than seeing your children come up. You might not get what you asked, but still got more than enough. And if you doing alright, you know who'll spoil your butt. Yo, who better to hold ya? Who better to scold ya? They wanna give you the world, Theodosia. Props to Big Papa, watching over the casa like this is Sparta. Always know he got ya. We all know about mom love, but give your daddy some kind words. If there's a will, he'll make a way. So make sure he has a happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you. All that you do, you showed me how to love harder. Tough on me so I can conquer all the things that a life will bring. Show what it means to be a king walking proudly. I'm so grateful. Happy Father's Day, yeah, for pulling us through. Happy Father's Day, yeah. Couldn't do without you. Happy Father's.
Dads are the best, and he love when the kids fall asleep on his chest. Working hard all day at a job that he hates. He gets home late just to see the smile on your face. He's so tired, but he still makes time to play. Before you gotta go to bed and start again the next day, he does it anyway to make sure you good, to give you the best life that he possibly could. He's the one who says yes when your mom says no. He wanna be at every game, but he just can't go. Taught you to wipe your ass and ride your bike. You pet that class, taught you how to fight. He don't need another tie, underwear, or mitten. He just sitting there smitten from the love that you give him. Serve him dinner from the kitchen with the big piece of chicken. Now it's time to show the real father figure recognition. Like, we all know about mom love, but give your daddy some kind words. If
Happy Father's Day.
Turn up.
He sound like he's sleepy.
He is.
I like it. Happy Father's Day. I like it.
Happy Father's Day.
Well, we was high. The song is streaming right now on the platforms. Be sure to share it. With anybody you think is killing it as a father, be sure to share that. I'm a link.
Yes. I like that track.
Yeah.
Be sure to stream
That's
that.
dope.
That's my homie Ombre the Great. Shout out to Ombre. Ombre's an amazing singer and songwriter. I love that brother. I wish he just had that a little bit more confidence in himself to do, a few more things. Like, he'll get it. He'll get it. He just needs some batteries in his back. But shout out to Ombre. All right, guys, have any thank you guys.
Too. I really did.
Any questions in the chat? Chris said he agrees with Ed on a lot of things, but not everything. And he said until a filibuster is gone, Democrats can't get a lot passed in the Senate. So wanted to see what
that's a lot. That's BS. It's a 50-50 in the Senate right now. All you got to do is it's a 50-50 in the Senate right now. So they've got Kamala Harris as the tiebreaker. So they've got it. Mitch McConnell no longer has the power to stop the Democrats in the House. I mean, in the Senate. If whatever they want, they can get. They passed that Asian bill with no problem.
Yeah.
They can pass anything they want. Anything they want, they could pass. So the filibuster is, I believe, it's tradition. It's historically and traditionally relative. It cannot be relative, but I think I don't see why we need to get rid of a filibuster when you have the House and the Senate. For anybody to be talking about, what about the filibuster? These are the same Democrats that used the filibuster a whole bunch of times, and only now that when they're in power, they want to get rid of it. And this is why I don't care for the left. It's because you only want to get rid of things when they don't work for you. You know, you never talked about we need to get rid of the Electoral College when you elected Obama to president 2 terms in a row. Nobody was mad at the Electoral College because he won it. But no, now we got to get rid of it when, oh, it's Trump or it's somebody else or blah, 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 blah. You know, a lot of people don't have, again, I'm not a huge Republican fan because I think Republicans are rhinos overwhelmingly. There's a handful of Republicans that I respect. I respect Ron Paul and Rand Paul independents and libertarians more than I respect a lot of the Republicans. I just think Democrats are 1,000% crazy. Their progressive ideas and their liberal ideologies are against science, against truth, against biology, against Black people, against everybody. Every single thing they try to do is a negative for the country. That's just my own personal opinion. That's why I'll never vote for them. But I'm not stumping for the Republicans either. I vote Republican because I care about my taxes. I care about law, I care about the border. I care about all kinds of really important things. So I vote with Republicans. I think the progressive ideologies are detrimental to everyone. So, you know, I see where he's saying the filibuster can't do nothing, but you own the House and Senate right now. So I don't see how the filibuster is even relevant.
Word. He's asking, why do you think HR 1 has not passed?
HR 1. Which one is that? Which one is HR 1? There's so many HRs, you know. There's so many HRs. I can maybe look it up right now. Let me see what HR. I'll take a look for you. Let's take a look real quick. Act? I got my look. Oh. Let's see, HR 1 bill. For the People Act, the United States Congress need to expand voting rights, change campaign finance laws. No, hell no. No. They're basically in the HR 1. HR 1 basically makes mail-in ballots with no signatures and no verification legal all across a federal level. That's negative. HR 1 also, the federal act also will impede on certain states' voting rights. And again, we're back to individual states' rights. So if individual states do not agree with what they're trying to do, they talk about partisan gerrymandering. Everybody gerrymanders. Okay, the Democrats try to say, "Oh, you guys redline and gerrymandering." They call it redistricting. That's what Democrats call it. That's their catchphrase. The exact same thing. Democrats are trying to. That's why you. Then what did Stacey Abrams do so great in Georgia that she flipped that county, Fulton? What did Stacey Abrams do? It's called redistricting. It's called getting rid of making sure that we don't have to verify signatures. Making sure that an ID does not have to be applied to this one vote. So if you see what's happening in Georgia, chain of custody of all of those ballot boxes, 19,000 ballots in the Fulton County, Georgia, have no chain of custody. And these are the ballots that were mailed in and dropped off in ballot boxes. Chain of custody means there has to be an official person that gets it from here and takes it from there. Who has custody over the ballots? The chain of custody. And the chain of custody has to be proven before those ballots are certified. 19,000 ballots in Fulton County, Georgia were not under the chain of command and were counted. These votes are going to end up getting thrown out. Watch what I'm saying. Arizona audit is real, and GA is going to follow. PA is going to follow. Michigan may follow. Wisconsin may follow. All of these audits are real, and these are forensic audits, not recounts. A recount is just when you count the same fraudulent ballots. A forensic audit is when you run these things through the machines, you get all access to the machines, and you figure out which one of these ballots is actually a real ballot or fake ballot, a legal ballot or illegal ballot, from a dead person or not dead person, from a person who is in the state or not in the state, from if it was really mailed or it was never mailed and it was pulled out from up under a table and just filled out by poll workers. So there shouldn't be any reason why Democrats are fighting to stop a forensic audit anywhere. If you believe that Joe Biden won fair and square and got more votes than any president in American history. 80 million votes. Y'all are telling me that a man who never left his basement, had less than 20 people at any rally, was able to get more votes than Barack Obama both times. Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Obama both times. If that's the truth, you shouldn't worry about an audit. You should be like, yeah, audit. Let's prove it. Let's get these Republicans, let's shut their face up once and for all. Audit every state. Let's prove that Joe Biden won. But that's not what Democrats are trying to do, because they know the shit is faulty. Y'all pay attention. It's going to come down. You heard it here first. AZ audit is real, and it's huge. That's why everybody's losing their mind over it.
Word.
If it wasn't a big issue, everybody wouldn't be trying to stop it. The DOJ wouldn't be threatening Republican senators in Arizona saying that we're going to step in and make sure that you guys, aren't doing anything wrong. That's not the DOJ's job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the DOJ's job to be trying to, interfere with an election audit. That's not the DOJ's job. So what are we doing here? We're running scared. We're fearful. Y'all watch Rachel Maddow cry on a daily basis. I catch her show just so she can freak out, cry. Oh yeah, I told you. I'll have to send you those texts, but I got some new stuff. I told my brother Q that I'm having a little bit of a internet spat with my brother Talib Kweli.
Word.
Yeah, he's upset with me because I don't like Antifa. So my brother Talib Kweli consistently, is upset with me because I speak my mind about a detrimental terrorist organization by the name of Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a real
just in support of them, or what
between me and him on his business.
Yeah, what's his stand on it? Like,
he claims to be Antifa.
Mm-hmm. And for those that don't know what
Talib
Antifa
Kweli
is, for those that don't know what Antifa is,
all right. Well, Antifa started back in 1935, way back in the day. It was meant to be anti-fascist in Germany, and they were basically the brown shirts, and rolling with a bunch of commies and rolling with a bunch of, they definitely were part of the hate Jew movement. Lock them up, put them up, put the star on it. That was, that's this group of people. These people now in the 20th century, in the 21st century now, are basically hardcore communists, anarchists, who basically use intimidation and violence to stop people from doing their rallies or stop people from voting or this, that. These are the people who say, anarchy against the government, let's burn it all down. These are those white people you see out with BLM and all black bloc, all dressed in all black with Molotov cocktails burning shit down. That's Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
That's who Antifa is. They're supposed to be against fascists, but they actually use fascist tactics in violence and intimidation. They are actually the fascists in America today, are the so-called anti-fascists.
Word.
They're actually just a bunch of betas, hardcore losers who think that they have strength in numbers. So they attack old people, elderly people, black people, anybody at peaceful rallies, and they counter protest, show up, and they usually get the shit beat out of them in the process. That's Antifa.
And Talib's waving their flag?
So, yeah, my brother Talib Kweli is running around like, hey, I'm Antifa. I'm against fascism. That's silly. Anybody who thinks just because you say anti-fascist means that you're means something. I'd like for anybody to give me an example of fascism in America today. And every time I ask that question, nobody can give me one. Word. Nobody can tell me how is fascism practiced in America today. You wearing a red hat means you're a fascist because you got a red hat on. Sounds silly, So fascism is a system. Usually it's a system where corporations are in control of the government. So I'll show you an example of fascism. It's Facebook, Instagram, Amazon. When Amazon decides to burn or decides to take your book off of their list and refuse to sell your book because you have a different narrative than a progressive narrative, that's fascism. When you decide to say, hey, I think that hydrochloroquine would help you in your fight against COVID, and you're a doctor, and Instagram and Twitter ban you, that's fascism.
Word.
Those are examples of fascism. But Antifa's they're not burning down Facebook headquarters. Antifa doesn't even go burn down the IRS or the Internal Revenue Service or why don't you go burn that down? Go burn the bank down. You guys talk about how anti-fascist you are. You're not doing that. You're not running up in the Federal Reserve and burning everybody's taxes and talking about abolish the Fed. You're not doing that because you're all just a bunch of fake betas. That's really what you are. I don't like Antifa. I don't care who's a Antifa.
Cheese or KK, did you guys have any questions for our brother Ed?
We're gonna talk. Okay, I knew
really
that was going to happen.
Any questions? There's so much information that has been given that I don't think I understand half of it. Really. So I gotta things that I had learned today.
Okay. So we'll
come back at it, KK. You come back at me.
We'll come back. We gotta have you back on, Ed, because there's so many more things I want to talk about. I want to talk about Israel.
Man, I love being here, man.
We'll do it.
There's big things jumping off of Israel. Netanyahu's finally out that joint. Bye, boo. BB's out. That was big. That's big stuff. It's about to get worse, though.
It's about to get worse. They're still in that same BS over there. So
because homeboys.
Next time. We don't got time.
Homeboys way more vicious. Way more vicious indeed.
Word.
About to get nasty.
We'll come back to that because you remember the story we did Cheese and Cake about a while ago about homegirl that put the Gorilla Glue in her hair?
Right.
Oh man. So she got rich. She got paid.
Yeah. This is the most beautiful thing about America. If you know how to play the American game, you know what I'm saying? So Tessica Brown, the one that went famous for the Gorilla Glue, is now in business with a hair company called Forever Hair. This is about 4 months after her viral drama made her a name, a household name. Brown is aiming to capitalize on the situation. She has new products at tbforeverhair.com. They're selling all kind of hair growth stuff, and she got T-shirts and stuff going down now.
I'm with it. That's the American dream right there. That's what I mean.
American dream.
That's what it's all about.
Capitalized.
That's
this is a capitalistic country, so
that's it.
Capitalized.
I like it.
So big shout out.
That's
to
capitalized.
Brown.
Exactly.
She laughed.
Yes, Jessica Brown. Get that bag.
All the way to the bank. Now, one of our wash your ass and brush your teeth is about a drug company that they sell brain cancer pills. And basically the brain cancer pills, they change the price from $50 to $1,000 a pill. So I'm trying to get the understanding on, I know, you know what I'm saying, these companies can sell their product for however over the next 8 years, the pharmaceutical company NextSource has hiked the price of a drug for brain cancer patients from $50 to $1,000 a pill. They used to be with like Medicaid, but they stopped the Medicaid. It was like, nah, son, we're not working with them no more, and they're just going to do their own thing. And they shot the price of the pills up. So I'm just trying to understand: is it really just about making money? What is the point in doing this? Here, these people who, I mean, don't have brain cancer. Ain't that enough? So now you want to overcharge them for their medicine?
Hell no.
What is the point of doing this?
Really sounds like it's about
pharmaceutical companies are the devil.
Word.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I think I pressed the wrong button.
Like he got mad. It was a devil.
It must be greed. When I came across this story, I was like, are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? $1,000 a pill from $50 a pill. Already that you have to take this pill to even be alive. And what is it? NextSource. The company is called NextSource. So NextSource need to wash their ass and brush their teeth, because that is absolutely ridiculous for them to do that. I see Ed trying to come back in. The other wash your ass and brush your teeth. I couldn't believe this. I could not believe this. So a former assistant principal admitted Thursday that he secretly filmed his daughter's friend in the bathroom at his Alabama home and then blamed it on his 9-year-old son when the videos were found on his school laptop.
That's terrible. I'd be like 7.
Why did you do this?
7 did it.
Chris, we should boycott that company. Yeah. So what is this guy's name? Tim Clevenger. Tim Clevenger, 54 years old, definitely gets to wash the ass and brush your teeth, because this happens to go back to when he had another situation back in 2018 when he got in trouble for filming Sekiro, that came over basically to visit his daughter, and he's filming them while they in the bathroom taking their clothes off to take showers or whatever they're doing.
Pervert.
He needs to go to jail. Is he
Yes.
going to jail? Okay.
Yes, he's been arrested, and he was sentenced 18 years to be served concurrently with another sentence from 2018 for filming. So he gonna be in jail probably for the rest of his life. It's ridiculous. I'm like, damn, son.
Maybe he filmed somebody in there.
I don't think he's gonna be getting filmed in there getting rim. And this is terrible, because not only you suck for the reason that you were filming your daughter's friends. That's awful. And then to blame it on your son, that's that's so dirty.
And his son probably like, Dad, I don't even like titties yet. Like
I know, right? He's like, Dad, I like balls. I don't even know. I would have never filmed them, Daddy. I filmed you. I'm scared.
No, but seriously, that's terrible for him to blame his kid. He needs to go to jail just for that, not just taking it on his own hand.
Word.
Taking his punishment. Like, come on, bro. You don't have no class. You gonna blame your own child.
Yeah, man. That's awful.
I don't even get allowance, Daddy. Terrible. That's awful.
Oh man. Well, yeah, big shout out to Ed. That was a lot of information. I hope everybody absorbed a lot of that stuff, and that's why I love going down the rabbit hole with Ed. Like if there's something and I see it, and I kind of see both sides of something, I call Ed and be like, Ed, what do you think about this? Just to get his take on it. You know what I'm saying? So thank you to Ed for joining us today.
Thank you,
appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, Mr. Cheese? Hey, you guys play. You guys play tonight, right?
Tonight.
What is Game 7?
No, Game 6.
Game 6. What could be the game?
We can close them out tonight.
Word.
That would be my Father's Day gift for my. I don't even want nothing. Close them out, dude, and let's go to the finals. The Western Conference Finals, and then let's go to the finals. They
have to close them out, because what is it about Doc Rivers that Doc Rivers just can't get to the promised land?
I don't care at this
point. Doc Rivers as a coach is almost like having tantric sex and never busting that nut. He will get you a great season. He will get you a great everything, but you ain't never gonna bust that nut. And I'm like, I feel bad for Doc. I'm like, bro,
but the thing
in the hell?
How did they blow
that
thing, though?
How did they blow that? You was winning. Philly was crushing them. You was up by 20-some points.
But did you see who was the person that put them in that position to win that game? Lou Williams.
Lou Williams, I don't know how y'all traded him. I don't know how y'all traded him.
We should have never got rid of.
Got rid of him.
We got rid of him for a dude that don't even play right now. We ain't even playing him, dude, majority of the time. That's 25 points off the bench. Easy.
Off the bench. Yeah, man.
Easy.
I like Lou Williams. So good luck to you guys tonight in your game.
I don't pray for stuff like this, but damn, I might pray tonight.
Are we on? Oh man, I don't see it either, Erica. I thought I went to my Twitch. I don't see it on my Twitch. Just the Facebook, YouTube, and the Unique and Cheese Show Twitch. I see that. I thought I pressed mine. Anyway, so sorry. I'm so sorry. But be sure to watch. You can watch the playback. You can watch the playback on YouTube and Facebook. Watch this episode. Ed hit us with a lot of bangers and bombers today. Oh, sorry, Cheese. I interrupted your what you want to say before we get out of here.
Oh no, it's fine. I can't believe you being humble. Love, peace, and happiness.
I can't believe you're being humble. You can kiss my ass. KK, anything you want to say? Hey, I'm Flapper. KK, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
I just want to say thank you, everybody, again for being here today. And everybody, all you great fathers out there, have a great Father's Day this Sunday. We love y'all. Thank you. And please come back with your masks on.
Y'all come back now. Yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Unique and Cheese Show. Thank you to Cheese. Thank you to KK. Thank you to Ed for being here today. Please, 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 I beg of all of you, what is it, 5 people online right now? Just if you could please share the Happy Father's Day song with some fathers out there killing the game, I would really appreciate it, and so will they. So happy Father's Day to all the Father's Day, all the wonderful fathers out there. Y'all keep doing that thing. We'll see you next Friday for the Unique and Cheese Show, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 12 noon on the East. Share with a friend and a friend and a friend. Come on back. Let's have a conversation. We want to have you guys included in the conversation too. So anytime we have guests, please jump in and ask questions. And that's what we're here for. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you next Friday.